everybody! Welcome to the kitchen at Yamtown. I am Mary. We're friends. Happy quarantine. So everybody seemed to really like my video about woks and how to make your own fried rice. So the next question was, how do you make adobo? I'm going to show you how to, well, tell you rather. I don't have all the ingredients. Very strange world we're living in right now, so bear with me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of adobo real quick, because a lot of people know Mexican adobo, they know Spanish adobo, and maybe not so familiar with Filipino adobo. So it all originated from Spain. Spanish adobo is very heavy on paprika, and of course, you know, Spain, they rode around in their boats and shit, and they conquered the Philippines, had the Philippines for 330 some years or more, and then also Mexico, of course. Mexican adobo is very heavy on the chilies, and the Philippines, we were actually making it long before the Spaniards got there. And our adobo, I guess, reminded them of their adobo in some way, and that's how it got its name. I'm not 100% sure what the pre-colonial name for adobo was, but we use a lot of vinegars, of course, as I told you a little bit ago. But Filipino style adobo is generally just a few items, and you can use any meat or vegetable, and it's a 2-to-1 ratio. That's how I make it. Anyways, it's like the national dish of the Philippines, and there's over 7,000 islands. There's a lot of different influences from different countries, all the different trade routes going through different parts of the Philippines. So there's many different types of adobo depending on where you go. This is mine. This is kind of what I learned from my mom. My mom is from Osami City in Mindanao, southern part of the Philippines, and their cuisine is a little bit different. It's some people refer to it as Cebuano or Visayan cuisine, because that's the language in the region that it's in. So it's 2-to-1 ratio, 2-to-1, 2 vinegar to 1 soy sauce. So whatever vinegar you want to use, I personally like to use a mix of apple cider vinegar and rice vinegar. A lot of times you will see people just use the white vinegar, or if you like it spicy, you get the spiced vinegar. So whatever you want to use, I usually do one cup of the apple cider, 1 cup of the rice vinegar, and 1 cup of soy sauce per 4 chicken thighs. So your chicken thighs, that's what I like to use. Still kind of a relatively cheap cut of meat with a lot of flavor. You want to get the bone in, and you want to get the skin on. That will help with a lot of the flavor. A lot of the chicken fat in there will cook down, just make it really nice. Garlic, you know, a lot of garlic. Black peppercorn, whole peppercorn, and some bay leaves. Bay leaves. So you get your chicken, whatever. You can use pork. Not a whole lot of people use beef, but I'm sure you can use beef if you want. When doing vegetables, it's a little bit different. So this, I'm going to tell you, is mostly just for meat, the way you prepare it. So you get like a Ziploc bag, you know, like one of these real big Ziploc bags, whatever, and you put your 2 cups of whatever vinegar you want and 1 cup of your soy sauce in the bag, and you take your garlic and you peel it, and then you smash them. I like to use anywhere between like 9 to, I don't know, I like a lot of garlic, so maybe like 1.5 bulbs of garlic. And all you really want to do, because this is going to be a marinade first, you just take it, the side of your knife, smash it, throw it in the bag. 2 small handfuls of black peppercorn, or you can use a peppercorn medley. I've done that before and it's fine. I wouldn't recommend whole red peppercorns. You can buy those at a lot of Asian grocery stores, but it's going to be really, really hot. I've heard people do that before and they regretted it, so just try to stick with the black peppercorn for now. You can always add dried chilies or red pepper flakes to yours. Sometimes, depending on who I'm cooking for, I'll add red pepper flakes to it. So maybe like 2 to 3 tablespoons of whole peppercorn. I usually measure it in my hand and eyeball it, whatever. And also your bay leaves. People like to argue whether or not you can actually taste bay leaves. If you're using like 1 for a whole pot of something, you probably aren't going to taste it. But I use anywhere between like 3 to 6 dried bay leaves. I like them to be pretty big bay leaves. Just like whatever this plate, just pretend like use that size 3 bay leaves. And you get that in there, you mix it up, put your bag in the fridge at least overnight if you have time. Sometimes we don't have time for that, you know, whatever. Maybe an hour or so, preferably at least overnight. So then it's marinated, you're ready to cook it for dinner. Okay, cool. So you want to get like a Dutch oven or something, a pot, heavy pot. You know, like pot like this, pot. And you want to put your meat in there skin side down. You want to, you know, kind of sear the meat a little bit. So get some oil, put it in a pot, wait for the oil to look like it's starting to shimmer, means it's hot enough. And you put your meat in there skin side down. Maybe like 5 minutes, something like that. You want the skin to be like browned a little bit, and then you flip it over, and then you pour all your marinade in there, and you just let it stew for like an hour. You want the meat to be real tender, kind of falling off the bone, and there you have how to make Filipino style adobo. At least my style. Oh, I like to put some brown sugar in it too. Not while it's marinating, but like towards the end. You put a little, like a tablespoon of brown sugar, stir it around so it dissolves. Different variations. Like I was saying, some people put the whole ginger root in it. And for that, you know, maybe like for the recipe that I just gave you, like a thumb size of ginger. You can leave the skin on it if you want to. Just make sure that it's clean. You know, you can scrub these guys. Chop that up into some chunks and throw it in there. It's just like with the garlic. Different parts. You have a golden adobo that has turmeric in it. I don't know how much you would put in. I guess just to taste. I've only made it a couple times, and I just kind of put it enough in there to make the color nice. And with the turmeric, you use coconut milk too. And that again, just like the recipe I gave you, maybe 1 can. For vegetables, I just get my liquid parts of the marinade ready. Mix that up first, and then I take the garlic and I mince that. You put the garlic in, you know, a pot and you brown it a little bit. Just like I showed you in the other video, how we cook the garlic. You want it to get kind of brown, you don't want it to burn. Yes, hello, Icky. Icky wants to be in the video too, right? Maybe? Okay, maybe not. Yeah, so vegetables. Back to that. So you want to take your garlic, saute it in your pan or your pot, whatever, and then you want to add the liquid. So it again is a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 cups, or for vegetables, depending on what I'm doing, I like to use less because you're not going to need as much liquid. Maybe like a whole cup of vinegar and a half cup of soy sauce, or less, depending. And you just want to cook your vegetables in that. Oh, and you want to add your peppercorns. For something like this, I like to tie my peppercorns up in a cheesecloth. That way you're not like digging through your vegetables or whatever. It hurts to bite into one of these sometimes. People like it, people don't like it. I personally don't like it. Some people say, oh, it's exciting to bite into one. Whatever, I don't care. And then you just let it simmer for a little bit. One of the really popular things I can think of off the top of my head is Kangkong adobo, which Kangkong is the Cebuano word for Chinese water spinach. It's very similar to like spinach or kale. It grows on a stem in like a swampy area, and it's really good. It's one of my favorite greens. You can get it at H Mart usually. Also potato tops, sweet potato tops. They're pretty similar, also kind of grow on a stem, and you just want to saute that in the oil with the garlic and your spices and stuff. Spices. These are vinegars. These are wet. Well, that's really all I can think of right now. If you have any more questions about adobo, if you have any suggestions, anything you want to know about Filipino cooking, I will try to answer your questions. The next couple videos might not be Filipino cooking. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out when the time comes. I hope you learned something. I should have wrote a script. So this is my second video. It's not live, but I need to figure all of this out. Thanks for watching.